Proudly sponsored by Diamond Bright, keeping the furious fleet shining. Welcome to Furious Driving, and this is the car barn. If you're new to the channel, you might not have seen this little hidey hole full of cars before, because it's been with the channel about a year, but I know quite a few people have joined the channel in the last week or so since the Mondeo videos. If you're new to Furious Driving land, then welcome and come along for the ride. So I'll give you a quick tour around what this place is, and I'll show you what I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks / months on that one over there. Right, let's have a quick look at the cars we've got in here first of all. So the car barn is where I've stashed some of my cars. I can get about 4 / 5 cars in here. We've got a few little car related things hanging around. We've got a nice Volvo dealer technician coat over there. So if I'm working on the 740, then I can be dressed appropriately. This car is one that I bought just before lockdown, or so 2020 obviously. £175 for a cheap car challenge. The idea being that I actually had to sell the car at the end of the challenge, and it was meant to be a reliability and MPG and a speed run down Santa Pod. Never actually happened because of the aforementioned lockdown, but I did rather like the car, and so it's kind of hung around. It's one owner from new, lived its entire life with its owner in Sussex, went to the same main dealer, Fisher's Garage in Horsham. It lived just down the road from there. It's a lovely 740 GL, so that's here with us. We've got the Sinclair C5, which I'm trying to work out how to attach a motor into. I've got a slightly larger motor in the back of that, which I just kind of jury-rigged on cable ties to see if I could make it start last time I took it out. But that's going to get a bit of a speed and power bump. But that's on hold because Sinclair C5 stuff is fragile, expensive and rare, so I think I need to have a rethink about how that particular project is working. But that's going to be very fun because I'm a child of the 80s. I loved these things when they were new. No way I could have afforded one. £400 was a lot of money when you were sort of 10 or 8 or something, so never got a Sinclair C5. This one though was actually a courtesy vehicle at an Alfa Romeo dealership in London. The dealer principal bought it, rode it into work once, hated it so much, had all the electronics and mechanical parts stripped out, sign wrote it and nailed it to the roof for the next 20 years, so that's why that's here. Behind it is actually an Alfa Romeo. This is an Alfa 145 Cloverleaf. This is a ridiculously rare hot hatch of the 90s. I love these cars dearly, and I wanted one for a long time. Finally found what I thought was a good one with a £7,000 engine rebuild with some quite nice machine work going on in there. It revs like no other 145 I've ever driven. Absolutely fantastic. Turned out wasn't quite as nice as I thought it was, and yeah, had to spend all of lockdown actually welding the floor and putting new strut tops in it. But now it is an absolutely fabulous car. It's got Momo leather. It's just delicious. Behind us is another Mini. This is a Y-Reg 2001, a pre-production car no less. This is one of the cars that was built for BMW's internal use for when they launched the Mini brand again in 2001. Car 202, so it's the 202nd Mini ever built. And here it is tucked away in the barn. And this was revealed the same day as the day or so before the Mondeo. This is my 1969 Morris Mini. The project which is going to be, I'm going to call it a slow burn because there's a lot of work to do to this car. Previous owner had done a fair bit of restoration work, but because it had been sat for so long, I think we're basically going to have to strip this car to a shell, sandblast it or blast it or dip it, and then go from there. But yeah, this is a very nice little car. Anyway, let's move back to the car we're talking about today. Oh yeah, there's the roof tent from the Freelander Hippo, so we did a little bit of camping in that one. All kinds of stuff going on in here. But this is the car that we're talking about today. This is the 1993 Rover 220 Coupe, the Tomcat, which is yet another 90s, well, it's not a hot hatch, this is a hot coupe. Car which I've had for quite a long time. This is a car which is a rescue, much like the Mondeo actually. It's been sat in a yard for a few years. Guy saw that I had a Rover P6, said would like to rescue it, and I said yes. Admittedly, he did say Rover Coupe. I thought he meant a P5B, and I thought I was paying £100 for a P5B. I was very gleeful indeed. It wasn't a P5B, it was this, but that was not a bad thing because this has been a great car. I've been to Le Mans Classic in it. I've road tripped it around the place. I've used it as a semi-daily car. I've lent it to friends. I've used it as a daily car. It's a really good car. Anyway, oh, it's also one of the magnets you can now get from the Furious Driving gift shop. In fact, the entire range of cars is now available on there. Anyway, this is the wall of number plates from around the world that viewers have been sending in to junk in the trunk, trying to get one from every state in the USA, every state in Australia, and all around the world. Over here we do also have a record of what all the other cars are up to. Actually, I haven't added Morris Mini on here yet. MOT, not relevant, tax, NA, because it's too old. And filling on here. What does it need doing? Everything. But this does show all the other cars across these two boards, whether taxed, MOT'd, jobs that need sorting out, that kind of stuff. Although, over the next week or two, most of the tax things are going to go red because I'm going to sawn pretty much the entire fleet apart from the Freelander for January, which will save me a few pounds actually. Anyway, this has got a really nice 2-litre Rover T series engine, which is a solid old bus of a motor. It's a cast iron block, aluminium head, twin cam, 16 valve. As far as 90s motors go, this is actually pretty hot stuff. However, it has got a leak. You might notice there's a bit of cardboard underneath the car, which is pretty much saturated. It's also got a coolant leak as well. That's interesting. And that's why this car has been parked here at the back of the barn for, well, a few weeks now, in fact. The problem is, I initially knew it had a rocker cover leak, and that was going to have to come off and be done. That's not a big deal. That's only a few screws and we're there. But then, on the day of the big Millbrook Tomcat record-breaking event, I was on the way up to Millbrook and stopped for petrol, and there was smoke coming out under the bonnet. Turned out, it's got, well, head gasket failure, but not into the engine, out of the engine. So it's pouring oil all the way outside the engine, which is not a good look in anyone's book. The engine will fire right now and it will run beautifully, but it will just gush oil down the front and stink the place out, which is not a positive thing. So anyway, the plan for this car over winter has been to, well, wait until I can't go out and shoot any more reviews and things, come over here, head off, head gasket on, get the car running again, ready for next spring, because there's always a really good Rover Tomcat Club run in the new year. But the thing about this car is, whenever you say you've got a Rover 220 Coupe, people always go, what, the turbo? And then you have to kind of go, no, the normally aspirated. But there is a solution to this, because the nice people at Maxpedingrods wondered if there was anything I could use on any of my cars, and I did say, well, there is one thing that would come in quite handy. Let me go and show you this box that arrived the other day. So this is the universal turbo kit. All I need to add to this is water. Oh no, sorry, I mean an inlet and an exhaust manifold. Now there is a special offer using my code and details. Follow the link in the description and use code MATT and you'll find lots of exciting fun things for many, many vehicles. Now, got this packing stuff away and see what we've actually got in here, because this does look rather exciting. And now I've got a fair bit of planning to do on this, because I haven't even looked at how this works yet, but it's going to be quite exciting. In factory form, the normally aspirated Rover 220 Coupe gets about 150 horsepower. The turbo, though, is nudging 200, and that is quite a significant upgrade. It really has to be said. So let's see what we've got in here in order to give us some boost. First off, we have got a pipe. So we'll try and figure out where all these bits go in a minute. Next off, we have got, oh, we've got an intercooler. Check out that. Nice aluminium lightweight. Get a good tune out of that as well. So we're laughing with that. What else do we have in here? Okay, so we've got, what was this, a blow-off valve? Yeah. Oh, we've got the pch valve. Yes, so we've got all the pch noises just there, which is what we really want. That's the only reason to do it. I don't care about the speed, I just want to make it pch noises. So this stuff does look really, really nice. What else do we have in here? Where's my knife gone? Oh, hello. This looks rather important. Significant black box. Everything wrapped in foam. Nicely machined parts. Well, look at that. That's looks important. Even the little gaskets get their own slot in this nice foam area. So this is going to be... Okay, so this is part of it. This is an important part of it. I'm going to pretend I know what this is, because it's probably very important. It's a valve. It's a valve. Oh, we've got a turbo gauge. We've got a gauge. I didn't know a gauge was coming. Oh, hello. That's exciting in itself. We need a gauge. We'll light up glowy stuff. We can pretend it's the early noughties and I still work for Fast Car. Oh wow, okay, so we have got a lot of ducting here. So we've got rubber silicone pipes there. We've got a whole load of different pipes, different bends, different lengths. So yeah, we can, joints, so we can create whatever direction we need to go with that. That's all good. Excellent. This kit does seem to include pretty much everything you're going to need. What else have we got in here? We've got a jiffy bag, which contains... Oh, okay. We've got braided hoses. We've got a lot of fixtures and fittings. We've got more braided hoses. Okay, yeah, so this is a braided rubber hose. These are the ends to make your end of the hose. I guess this is for your oil. Finally, the one thing we haven't seen yet is actually a turbo. We've got more piping down. That's a T-piece just down there. That I'm guessing is vacuum pipe. Oh, and a boost. Oh, we've got a boost gauge, pressure controller. Yeah, boost controller. And this is the vacuum pipe to go with it. So, okay, yeah, excellent. So this is not just whack it on there and whatever pressure you get, hope it doesn't blow your engine up. You can actually have some fine control with this. So yeah, this though is the one that's going to be the one that matters. Oh, we've got stickers. We've got stickers. Oh, three-dimensional stickers. Oh, fancy. Gaskets, lots of padding. Oh my word, look. Oh my word. Would you look at that beast of a thing. Jesus, that's heavy. That is going to have to find somewhere in the engine bay. This is nicely machined. What a great kit. Wow. So I am absolutely blown away with this. This is such a comprehensive kit. There's almost everything you need. The only thing I'm missing are the inlet and exhaust manifolds. Unfortunately, I've spoken to a friend who you might have seen on YouTube elsewhere who does a lot of Rovers, and he has got a Rover Turbo inlet manifold and he thinks he knows someone who's got an exhaust manifold. So we are basically, well, we're 99% there really, aren't we? Just need to work out where to stick it all into the car somehow. Let's see if I can work out where this can fit under the bonnet. Right, so the biggest parts really are this intercooler, which will actually, with the bumper off, just fit quite neatly into this area down here. That's the easy bit. Then we've got ourselves this turbo, which has got to fit somewhere around the exhaust. Now, I'm probably going to have to lose my giant induction kit with literally a Heinz bean can pipe extension there to get cold air intake, but this I guess will fit into this area down here somewhere. Yeah, I guess once I've got the exhaust manifold and the inlet manifold, then I can work out the exact position of where this will go, because with that air filter gone, there's a fair bit of space down there. Now the shaft on this has got literally no play in it whatsoever. That's so tight. Yeah, that looks like a really nicely made bit of kit there. So basically what I need to do now is go and find myself my inlet and exhaust manifolds, and of course a head gasket set. So when I start building everything, when I strip everything down to do the head gasket, I can build it all up again with this stuff in there. Fantastic. Oh, I'm just so looking forward to this. This particular car, I mean, the model in general is brilliant, but this particular car is so good. This is a car that just kind of wants to live. You know, some cars, they just kind of have that kind of something about them. They just want to keep on going. Some cars just fight you all the time. They don't really want to run. This one wants to run. This is a car that wants to be always going. For a long time I called this my lifeboat car, because no matter what else was broken on the rest of my fleet, you could always rely on the Tomcat to go and just start up and get you to where you need to go. Right, I am massively excited now about this project. This is going to be so much fun. I just need to work out where to squeeze everything in under this fairly tight engine bay, but because Rover did do their own turbocharged version of the 220 Coupe, I'm fairly confident it will fit. And if this goes really well, you know what we could do? We could do the same thing to the 420 estate, because the 420 Tourer, that estate car, is basically exactly the same car as this, but with a big back end on it, and that would be rather exciting to do that. Although, having said that, this car is rare. There's about 70 220 Coupe normally aspirated non-turbos kicking around on the road in the UK, so it's not a common car, but by the standards of a lot of my collection, that's actually quite plentiful. As far as 420 GSI Tourers go, because the 2-litre T-Series GSI, they only made it for a very, very short time, so there's barely any made in the first place, and literally I'm only just into double figures remaining, so it might be a bit sad to modify that one, but this one I think wouldn't be a bad thing to do, because we're kind of paying homage to what Rover did in the first place. But this stuff does actually look really nicely made. I mean, this is so weighty, this turbo. This just looks so good, so nicely made. I can't tell you how excited I am to have a turbo coupe, and it's my own favourite car, one of my favourite cars. You have to do the noises with a turbo, don't you? It's kind of the law. And all this stuff looks really nicely made. I mean, it looks like really good quality too. So I'm really looking forward to getting this stuff into the car. Can't wait, really can't wait. Okay, thank you for watching today. I know I have got plenty of projects on the boil, and you might be thinking, why on earth am I taking on yet another one? But this car isn't drivable until I fix the head gasket, and since I'm going in as far as taking the head off, I might as well bolt it back together with a few extra fun bits in there. We have got quite a few projects going on the channel. I know I said at the beginning, there's quite a few people have joined as subscribers in the last couple of weeks, so a bit of a surge, which is a good thing, which is great. Welcome aboard. But we've got so many projects that we're just kind of getting through. The W123 Mercedes, that just needs that rear wing welded on, and then a front wing put on, and then some brakes put on, then repainted, and then the interior sorting out. There's nearly everything done on that car. The Rover P6 V8, that just needs to figure out why it won't start, and then we're there. What else have we got? The Mondeo, I mean, that's, again, very, very close indeed to running. And of course the Mini, we're going to be making a start on the Mini in the next few days, to be honest, because that car is going to be an absolute monster of a job, stripping that thing down to a bare shell, starting again from scratch and building that thing right up into something, well, I'll take it back. I was debating whether to manual swap it, because I really don't like automatic gearboxes, and that is an auto, but it's a 1969 car, it's a Morris, and it's a one family from new car, and so in terms of value, I think it'd be worth quite a lot more to keep it original. So I mean, at the moment I'm thinking, yeah, we'll go back exactly to factory spec on that car. I've never owned a classic Mini. I've driven lots, and I've got me super early R50 new Mini, so yeah, it'd be great to have the two of those running side by side for the first time. This thing though, I've had for about 10, maybe even longer years, and over the time I've had it, I've done various modifications. It's got EBC green stuff pads, it's got EBC discs, it's got gas coilover suspension, it's got a Piper stainless exhaust. This is just going to be one more thing making this car even better. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you follow on this project over the next couple of weeks, where we resurrect this coupe and make it even better than it ever was. So thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, you know the business. I'll be back with something very soon indeed. Take care, everybody. Goodbye. You know what, really I should be doing this build on this car, because it's got a massive engine bay with 1,000 litres of space under the bonnet, and this is as slow as molasses. So it would be a great addition to give it a bit of a turbo boost. Plus it's rear-wheel drive as well. That would be hilarious fun. Just give it another 50 or 100 horsepower, and these engines are proper tough old red block Volvos. Maybe I should be rethinking this project before I get too far along down the way. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Should I carry on doing this on the Rover Coupe, or should I switch plans and go over to the Volvo instead?